Hello and welcome to the Pano channel for this match reaction to Aston Villa getting a 0-0 draw against Everton at Goodison Park. I'm joined with my bro here, but before we start, if you give the stream a like, if you're new here, give it a subscription, and also drop a comment within the stream, or even if you're watching later after the stream, and let us know your thoughts on the game. How you doing, bro? Thoughts on the game, and yeah, we'll get into it.
Yeah, I'm good, bro. I'm good. How about yourself?
Yeah, not too bad, not too bad. Yeah, it's one of those. We've come away from Goodison Park with a point, a 0-0 draw. Some may say frustrating, some may say it's a good point. How are you feeling about it before we get into the detail? How are you feeling overall about, getting a draw from Goodison Park?
Just to say, we predicted a draw in our initial podcast. We both said it would be a score draw. It didn't quite play out like that, despite both teams having some chances. But yeah, I think we kind of expected us not to win today. Saying that though, I don't think Everton were as good as we expected them to be. I actually thought they were letting us have a lot of the ball in like dangerous areas, and it was more us letting ourselves down in terms of creating the correct chances, making the right pass. So yeah, I'm gutted. I can't lie. I'm a bit gutted, but it is what it is, man.
Yeah, I had the same sort of feeling. I expected it to be a tough game, away at Goodison Park. The way Everton do play, and even against some good sides, have played really well. Going to White Hart Lane, they played really well against Spurs, and they really stuck it on them and had a lot of chances and created a high amount of XG. So I expected a tough game from this one. I really did. And going into it, we ended up getting a point. We predicted the point to happen, but Everton on the whole within the game, they didn't really come at us as much as I thought that they would have done. And we controlled the ball, and we controlled possession within the game as well. But there were times where they did, go through in the transition and on the break, and we'll get into those. But overall, my feeling is right now is, I'll take the point. I'll definitely take the point because that's what I expected. But there were situations within the game where we could have got a goal. That's how I felt. A few comments here. Deontay's Waves says, welcome, Deontay. Thanks for joining us. Yeah, bro, let's crack into it then. So we go into this one. Firstly, the lineup. Such a shame, pal. Not fit enough to even be in the squad. Massive surprise Jacob Ramsey was in the squad as well. Supposedly he's picked up another knock now, which is very disappointing. Returns for Tielemans, who found himself on the bench, which is really good and a massive positive. Thoughts on the lineup going into it?
Yeah, gutted Powell didn't start. We always speak about how crucial he is in our build-up. The composure that he shows elevates players around him. Ramsey as well was a bit of a surprise. Emery said that he picked up a hamstring injury at the end of training yesterday, so he's going to have a scan today or tomorrow, and we'll see how bad that is. We got 2 weeks off now, which is ideal, but if Ramsey's out again, that's worrying, man. I just feel so sorry for him.
Yeah,
you can't catch a break. How can you be injured 3 times in a season? It's crazy.
You can't. Obviously, that initial metatarsal at the Euros for the under-21s, then comes back against Brighton, gets a goal and looks really sharp, gets injured again, and then if this is the third time, it's proper sad, man. It's proper sad. But hopefully, it's just a niggle and he'll be back soon. Jan says, was always going to be a tricky game today. Both teams battling for different objectives this season. The draw is a fair result, in my opinion. And Marcus Hunt, thanks for joining us, Marcus. He says, we absolutely dominated the start of the second half. Just to give it up, our dot, accept the draw. And Marcus also joined us. Thanks for joining us. And he says, good evening, or hi, Michael. Thanks for joining. So, yeah, let's get into it then, bro. The lineup itself, it's what I expected, having seen that Ramsey was injured and also Powell's not available. I expected that, but I didn't see us starting with Cash. I expected Conte to play right back. I was kind of happy with that. I would prefer that personally. And then also we saw McGinn operate off the left and Diaby play alongside Watkins, with Bailey operating off the right, which again I expected us to play. So yeah, the lineup I was happy with. What about yourself?
Yeah, everything else expected with them two out.
Yeah, I agree. Before we get into it again, Rachel, evening everyone, 4 points from Everton this season is good. Could be worse overall. Thanks for joining us, Rachel. So let's get into it then. So first 10-15, I felt like Everton were on it. It felt like they were really on it and they were really pushing us. We're struggling to settle on the ball within the first 10-15 minutes. I know Danjuma had a good chance. He knocked it just wide. Mikolenko also had a decent shot as well. And James Garner had a shot on target, which was a free kick blocked. And they had a free kick in a very dangerous area. But they were looking to operate on our wings and catch us on the break. They had a few chances where they looked to get in behind, but the line obviously we play is really good and managed to catch them offside as well. But I thought initially Everton had set the tempo and they were looking to get at us and get that early goal.
Yeah, those first 15 minutes was some of our worst football all season for me. I couldn't actually remember us making a final third pass. Like, it was at that point where we weren't actually in a space to get the ball up the pitch and just pass the ball like once or twice. It was really poor, and I'm just glad that wasn't like how the game continued throughout, because I was nervous at the start.
Yeah,
it felt like we were half asleep. It felt like we hadn't arrived at Goodison. So
yeah,
grateful that they
really
didn't score in that period. Otherwise,
yeah, and we knew it was going to be a raucous atmosphere. We knew the Everton crowd were going to really give it, especially at the start of the game. And we were very sloppy in possession at the start. Time and time again, Dougie played a short pass at one point. McGinn was getting caught in possession at other points as well. The forward line, Watkins was getting about within that first 10-15, but there was no one really sticking with the ball and making it comfortable. Yeah, it looked a bit shaky initially, but then we ended up carving open our first chance around the 13-minute mark. Ollie Watkins, it's a really nice ball in from DRB. Watkins has kind of taken it a bit wide, but he manages to get a shot on target. Decent save from Pickford. And from then on that point, I feel like we really started to get into the game more. Carlos and Lenglet looked really composed on the ball at the back. I think me and you both agreed that was Lenglet's best game in a Villa shirt. I thought he was really good today on the ball and defended well when needed to. But yeah, we really started to set our tone then after that initial first 15 minutes and really start playing on the ball and looking to use Moreno on that left-hand side. As we say, we start with Konsa, so we're really looking to attack down that left-hand side. And in the first 10-15, McGinn and Dougie were trying to play balls to him and they just kept getting intercepted or they were getting caught. But as the half went on, we started to play that ball to Moreno more and getting more involved. And he was having quite a tussle with Seamus Coleman on that side going into that first half.
After that initial 15 minutes, we started to control the game more. We started to impose ourselves. This is kind of what I was expecting to happen from the beginning. But we were in there half more. We were passing the ball quicker. And I was just like, yeah, okay, Villa finally woken up a bit now. I thought Moreno's first half was excellent. I thought he was a constant threat. He made some nice, smart passes. And he just receives the ball nicely as well. Yeah. But our midfield, I think today collectively was one of the worst midfield performances from Villa this season, because Luiz's ball retention and his decision making was off. I mean, you spoke about that first half pass where he's just tapped it and it's almost led to them having a big chance. Martinez had to take one for the team going after the ball.
Yeah.
I thought McGinn's passing was so poor today, and he can't play on the left. I don't think it suits his game.
I agree, bro. I think McGinn's on the right. That is his best position for us, or next to Watkins. I think off the left, he does struggle when he does play there for us, but when on the right, he shines when he plays there. So yeah, he was getting caught in positions on the ball. Same with Dougie; they were getting caught on the ball numerous times. Anana, Garner, and Decore pressing in that middle were catching them, especially at the start and throughout periods in the game. But we did start getting control of the ball through that, and when we started to get Moreno into the game, we really started to, put our foot on the game, and we had a number of chances. I stated the Watkins one, Leon Bailey near post. It's a really good save from Jordan Pickford.
Pickford's top.
Really good save. Yeah,
Pickford's top, man. Pickford's cold.
Yeah, he was really, really great save to get down there and palm it away. He didn't even palm it into play, palmed it away for a corner. It was a good play from Villa.
Yeah, just to touch on McGinn again. If he's playing on the left, McGinn likes to use his body to shield the ball and let it run past him. He can't do that on too strong a left foot because the touchline's there. It goes out of play. So he has to pass the ball. He has to control the ball and he has to come inside the pitch. This does not suit his game. at all. But yeah, the Bailey chance. I thought that Bailey chance was in. Actually, I thought
he done
he
well
did
to get it under his feet, and with
Yeah.
his weaker foot, he's done well to get that on target.
And then
Really difficult position.
Our goal that never was comes again from a set piece, a well worked set piece, in my opinion. You can see the intention.
Something we all haven't seen yet. Set piece we all haven't seen so far. Something very different and new. Go on, bro.
And Bailey's just got to come back on side quicker. You'd think if they've worked on it on training, he'd know that as well. So maybe there was something that didn't go correct, or maybe the pass wasn't intended for Bailey on the training ground, because you'd think, okay, I've got to jolt back on side if I know Lenglet's holding off the play Danjuma and trying to keep me offside. So his body language looked like he weren't expecting the ball. So maybe the pass wasn't intended for him. Yeah. But what a strike from Alex Moreno, man. Genuinely, what a strike. And I'm just gutted for him that he didn't count most of all, because you could tell he enjoyed that.
He did. He deserved it with that strike. And I think when we have our set pieces now, we have so many options with the one play that we can audible it. So I feel like you said sometimes if the way Everton shape up or set up, they might change it with the set piece. We can audible the play. So you've seen Dougie and Bailey go over the corner. The intricacies can be changed. We saw it from another one where the ball went in a different variation compared to going to Moreno at the edge of the box. But yeah, there'll be different areas we can put the ball in dependent on how the opposition set up for the set piece. And I think you're right. I think Bailey was caught a bit on his toes there because he didn't expect the pass at that point. So maybe we paid the incorrect pass, but he did well, to get it back in. The ball came across to Moreno and it was such a great strike. It's just a shame it wasn't. Yeah. It was.
But I didn't even celebrate, to be honest. I'll be honest. I just sat there because the way
Bailey's game, though, isn't it, bro? I felt exactly the same. That's the game.
Well, not even VAR, bro. Not even VAR. It just felt offside. Like even just with the line, it just felt offside. Like Bailey's body language just completely sold it, so I just didn't even.
Yeah.
But what killed me was during the VAR, they showed the line initially, and they drew it on quickly on Sky, and I thought, okay, Bailey's whole foot's offside. Then they started showing Lenglet's position. So I thought to myself, hold on, have we gotten away with this set? Is he not offside? But it just turns out they were just admiring Moreno's goal and forgot they were on national television.
It's a strange one because they looked for Bailey's offside first. I agree. They looked for his offside first. He looked like he was offside, but then they went on to other variations. They were checking Lenglet if it was a foul. They checked something else as well, which I can't remember. Another bit within that. And then later on, about 5 minutes later, then drew the line on and showed it. But at that point, they didn't show where the ball was or who was playing the ball within that line. So yeah, very, very weird one. Very weird one. But be interesting to hear the audio on that one if they ever do release it. I'm sure they won't. But yeah, after the goal again, we were again having control of the play. But yeah, we were struggling to create some stuff within that. And then I felt towards the end of the half, Everton got back into it. And yeah, what a save from Emi Martinez. The one time the line was caught out, I think the whole majority of that first half, we played the line very well indeed. A number of offsides were picked up. But the one time Diego Carlos just pushed forward, Lenglet's not matched him. And Diego Carlos kind of finds himself in Everton's half. He's pushed that high. So Calvert-Lewin's going to be onside because he's in his own half, sort of thing. He's read the run. He's ran off Diego Carlos's back, and Emi Martinez, incredible save, incredible double save because he also makes a save from James Garner as well. So very, very good save from both, and that is why he's right up there as the world's number one.
Yeah, you could tell it was onside as well, like live, because he looked like my man was in his own half. I don't know if you played the ball.
I'm not sure. He played the initial pass.
He was outside of the pass, and I thought, whoa, that's a good pass. And that feeling is just horrible when Calvert-Lewin's in. You know he's onside, and you're just waiting to see.
You're just waiting, aren't you? Yeah, anticipating.
I said on the last podcast, I didn't want Calvert-Lewin starting because he always gets a big chance. That's his game. He doesn't always take it, but you just never know. And he does well, Martinez, because he sticks the foot out. He actually dives the opposite way, but he sticks his foot out. And without that, it goes in. So Villa got lucky, man. Everton had the biggest chance of the game, no doubt. So yeah.
Well, with those things, I agree. They had the big, but with those things, I always see top sides they get caught out sometimes like that, and sometimes you need and the amount of times I've seen Liverpool get caught out by that, and Alisson stepped up for them. multiple times I've seen that happen. And Emi Martinez does what a fantastic goalkeeper does. He keeps your team in the game when they have an opponent has a big opportunity, and he's done brilliantly well to stay up for so long. And then Calvert-Lewin's not dragged it wide enough, so he's managed to get his foot on it. And then after that, Danjuma gets on the ball and gives it to Garner, and he's done well to save the second as well. Got down really low and quick. Incredible for Martinez, really was, because he hadn't really done anything before that. The only thing was collecting the ball from Onana, late lunging to try and get the ball off him. So yeah, very impressive from Emi Martinez. Fantastic goalkeeping. So yeah, you go into it at half time. I'm thinking we've been the better side. Everton have had the big chance, but apart from that, we've played really well. We kept the ball well. We could just do with creating more, just creating more chances in the final third. And I felt that Diaby, McGinn, Dougie on the ball were just a bit loose. There was one chance when Watkins put it in for Diaby, and his touch was loose. If he had a good touch there, he's in on goal. Oh. And Pickford's got just a good touch there. You're through.
Are you concerned by Diaby? Because I can't lie, I'm starting to get a bit concerned. I think we've got to a point now. Sorry, just to get this in before I let you speak. I just think we've got to a point now where it's becoming normalised for him not to make an impact on the game. And this is our key signing. This is our big signing for the transfer window. And we've already seen recently, speaking about FFP, like how important it is that these type of signings work out. It's his first season still. But I just feel he can go missing in the game. Like sometimes I forget he's on the pitch at times. And it's just like you're more surprised if Diaby has an impactful game than doesn't at this point, I'd say. What do you reckon?
But what's changed, do you think, from the start of the season? Because his numbers are right up there in open chance, creating chances.
Yeah, I agree.
His open chance creation was one of the best in the Premier League at the start of the season.
And I think even from the Burnley game, bro, we've been saying like he was getting the assists, but his overall performances were lacking, and he was going missing. I don't think this is like a new thing. I think this has been a trend for a while now. For me, I think the good games have been the outlier, not the norm.
Yeah,
in his Villa season so far, and yeah, I'm a bit worried because he's been profiled almost like a 10 type in the middle, and it's Bailey will hug the width, and I just think, well, maybe Diaby needs to be out wide and holding the width. I don't know, but he just doesn't look comfortable.
It's a strange one because I feel like because teams know we're actually a really good side now, it's kind of changed how they approach playing us, and when they didn't really clock on, or they didn't feel as much as at the start of the season potentially, gave Diaby a bit more freedom, and he wasn't getting picked up at many times, or because I thought he was really good at the start of the season, and the link up him and Watkins at one point they were the best in terms of chance creation for each other in a partnership. They were the best. There were like 5 chances more than any other partnership within the league, and that was about 10-11 games in the season. So I don't know, maybe it's the style, and as we say, we are a bit, when teams sit back at times, struggling to open them up. Could potentially do with Diaby not being that kind of player, the second striker role, and maybe more an Emi Buendia if he was fit. Maybe Yuri coming back fit now. Him starting alongside Watkins, which he did against Man City and Arsenal. We could do with that a bit more, just so because Bailey and Diaby at times just struggle to open teams up as much. Yeah, there's my thoughts. A few comments then. Dion said, this was Unai Emery's first ever 0-0 draw as a manager in the Premier League. It's 97 match charge. That's absolutely mental. That is. For his time at Arsenal, Aston Villa, that's his first 0-0 draw. Rachel says, next set of games are going to be tough. Eventually Spurs will overtake us, but we have done so well this season. So for me, the progression has been immense. Let's not give up just yet, Rachel. Yeah, let's not give up just yet. Marcus says we controlled the ball for the most part, and when we picked the pace up, we pinned Everton back, but they broke our flow up with the stoppages. I just wish we focused a little bit more on our discipline. Yeah, we'll get into that, Michael, the discipline and how the game was managed, because it's funny that David Coote's last game was Brentford that he refed us, and we all know how that ended up in the last 20 minutes, and he kind of followed a similar pattern. No, but he also says very sloppy passing from us in the first half. It was at times, there was real openings, and Moreno had a lot of space in that first half to get an aging Seamus Coleman, and there was times where the ball could have been released a bit sooner. I think McGinn overhit one as well. I remember as well. I was just like, if you played that a bit shorter and Pickford came out and cleared it, the passing was just a bit sloppy. Right, so it's very much like the Brentford game. Who refed that game? Exactly. Rich says Adam needs a cam. You might have one soon, Rich. Don't worry about it. You might have one
Listen,
soon.
Villa need a cam. That's what Villa need.
It's probably saying that you can play the Emi Buendia role. Right says we don't lose our call often, but Coote has been the ref in the games where we have lost it the most. We didn't cost us the game, but the PGMOL need to do something about him to improve. And my point regarding that is the Watkins booking. Did you think that was a booking?
No, that was BS.
I think that's where the contention is, because you see worse tackles from both sides potentially. But then to give a booking for that, it's like, what are you playing at? It was never a yellow card.
So that was pretty much the first half then, wasn't it? After that was the first half.
Yeah, and it's just like, kind of decision is actually never a booking.
Never. I think even Alan Smith was just like, that's not a booking.
It's a ridiculous decision that was, just going up for a challenge. Michael says, I'm getting sick of the commentary criticise the high line but don't understand it's working. Needs to break through. We have Martinez way. Yeah, I don't think they get it. I think I was watching the Spurs game and United were getting through and they were saying United done well here when Spurs had played them way offside, points with Rashford. I think teams that just play high lines, they just like to state that, even though Liverpool won a league playing a high line on the Jurgen Klopp. So yeah, it's one of those things. They need to look at the stats more regarding the offsides and how many times we caught teams offside. Paul says, thanks for joining, Paul. So is there a new rule on penalties? Because Sky keeps saying it's a foul, but not enough for a penalty. What the actual F? A foul in the box is a pen. Yeah, we'll get onto those challenges. Paul also says, nowhere near sharp enough near the box. Mark says, not worried about him. He will settle. That's regarding Diaby. Rachel says Diaby is very low in confidence and form. I agree, but then he did score against Burnley. He got a goal the last game we played in the Prem. So yeah, he's just getting into the game more, being a bit more involved. I feel he's lacking within that. Simon's joined us. Thanks for joining us, Simon. Shouldn't play Diaby and Bailey together. I think I agree with that. Rachel says, I think he's doing a bit of Bailey, who will come good when his adaptation kicks in. Exactly, it's his first season. It will take time. He has got decent numbers so far this season. Simon also says, I thought Dougie was off his game and McGinn. Yeah, they're the two that stood out to me, especially in the first half. But yeah, I agree. Dougie and McGinn were not at it today. Diaby will be fine, no concerns at all from me. And Michael says there are a few things off the field which can affect him. The Premier is extremely hard to get used to speed and physicality. I agree, because he was flying at the start of the season, and as I said, statistically the numbers were matching what we were viewing as well. Paul says Dougie looked knackered. I wondered why. Yeah, I think I see where you're getting at with that, Paul. And yeah, I see where you're getting with that. Yeah, so going into the second half, then, bro, what did you feel like we needed to do to get a goal within the game? And do you feel like we did it?
Carry the ball from the second phase. I thought first half we were actually beating their press well, and the composure on the ball was decent amongst our backline. Carlos was spraying those passes to Watkins, and Watkins was getting in behind. I thought Lenglet was solid today, bro. Genuinely,
really good.
Second half, I wanted to see more carrying. I think we missed Ramsey a bit with his carrying, but Everton weren't playing a low block. Everton weren't all camped in there. They were playing a mid block, and there was spaces to run in behind once you bypass the midfield, and we just didn't take advantage of it to the extent we really should have. I understand why Emery brought Tielemans on, because he could probably see that, oh my God, there's so much space behind their midfield. We need someone like Tielemans to see if he can play like a ball through the middle. But that's what I wanted to see more. And I just wanted to see better chance creation. When we get the ball high up the pitch, 1-2s, get the ball to Moreno, get him attacking the box. I think the best bit of football we did play in the second half, we'll get on to Lenglet's little pass over the top to Moreno where he caught it back. Like why did we not see that more today? Everton were there to be beaten in there. They're not Milan. They're not that classic Milan back four where it's just, I know Dyche is a good manager, but they were there, bro. So that's what I wanted to see more in the second half. What about you?
Yeah, I agree. I think we didn't create enough. The XG stats will tell you as well. 1-3, and a 1.13 for Everton, 1.11 for Villa. Yeah, obviously, Everton had a massive chance with Calvert-Lewin, which is going to be high. But yeah, on our side, it's not as high as you'd want it to be, and it's relatively equal. So it looks like the draw's a fair result overall, even though we did have more of the ball. But yeah, just to open them up a bit more, and as you stated, for that Matty Cash chance, that ball for Lenglet to Moreno. Moreno, great ball back, and yeah, it was just a really good opening from how we played. So yeah, we'll go into the second half chances. Watkins had a shot, McGinn had a shot just wide. The first 15 minutes, the game just started to get scrappy, didn't it? And David Coote wasn't refereeing it correctly, and it was obvious it was going to turn into ruckus and minor brawls and stuff. Players coming over, getting involved in situations where they didn't need to really if it was refereed properly. All aspects of that Brentford second half were just flooding into that game I saw today in the second half because the way the game was being refereed and decisions and certain bookings being given and then other decisions not even be given as a foul or no card being shown for that. Around the 60th mark, we had the chance with Diaby who had the shot from the corner, and then from there, the game was scrappy. Kind of, I saw people saying boring and stuff like that. Yeah, it dulled down a bit. I think that was more to do because how we play, we keep the ball, but we just weren't getting those opportunities to open their defence. What were your thoughts to start second half?
I'm struggling to fully remember how we did start. I'm sure. Did we not control the game a bit more?
Yeah, we were controlling the ball.
Controlled the game
it felt like that period with the 20 minutes. We were just controlling. That 20 minutes, the 35 minutes. It's the same sort of thing. We were controlling the ball and the possession, but I didn't feel like we were penetrative at all, if I can say it. Well, yeah. How are you feeling?
I just think the changes had to come initially. When Duran and Tielemans both came up, I was surprised to see Bailey get taken off. To be honest, I think I understand taking one of your outlets off, but both Diaby and Bailey, that surprised me. I understand the Tielemans coming on, and then Duran, and we went 2 up top, 4-2-2, McGinn and Tielemans behind, and he went for it with Moreno pushing on.
Yeah, thoughts on Duran's involvement when he came on?
Excellent, bro. I genuinely think this kid's got it, man. I think this kid's got it. I know he came on, he did that weird shot. That was probably the wrong decision. But after that, bro, he was holding the ball up well. He was coming short. He was passing. He was the link-up man. His link play was good. He got on the end of that cross from Cash. And it's unlucky, I thought.
Yeah.
Bro, that's a big chance.
That's a big chance. It was a big chance.
And what do we say? If our strikers are getting chances, we don't.
What's that?
If our strikers are getting chances, we don't mind. As long as you're getting into positions, the goals will come.
Yeah, it was good area. It was a good chance that was, and kind of sliced it. But yeah, I thought Duran had an impact again coming off the bench, and yeah, I thought he was getting himself involved. I thought he did. I thought he had an impact going into that. But yeah, throughout that second half, as we just said, decisions, and one talking point obviously is the Musa Diaby double challenge, shall we say, within the box. Now, what are your thoughts?
Yeah.
Is it a penalty from either challenge?
If he goes down, it's a penalty, isn't it?
It's a pen, isn't it?
The Mikalenko
challenge is 100% a pen. Yeah.
Yeah, it's the way. If he goes down there and that's reviewed on VAR, that's a penalty.
Yeah.
So maybe that's just not cute enough from Diaby or understanding. Just go down if you feel the contact.
I agree, but it's mad. You've seen the last 2 weeks where we saw some fallout from the Duran, Aaron Ramsey touch on Duran. Then we saw Bruno Fernandes. Then we saw Raheem Sterling. Both times they've hit the deck on touches which I feel are softer and got penalties and got the decision. So yeah, I think the Mikalenko one, he's took his leg, and Diaby's just been honest and stayed on his feet. But if he'd have gone down, I think that gets given. I really do. And then Tarkowski, man, just comes straight through him with a scissor challenge. Now, he's won the ball, but I'm sure that's not the rules of the game. And it's regard to just winning the ball. It's if you endanger the player as well, that comes into it. So that was a decision that could also gone in our favour in regard to a penalty. What was your thoughts on that challenge from Tarkowski just after? Yeah,
that's the interesting one. He gets the ball clearly, but it's just dirty player Tarkowski, man. Don't rate it at all.
School of Dyche. It's no surprise Ben Mee and Tarkowski, the ones we refer to as dirty players. You know what I mean? But yeah, poor challenge. But yeah, the Mikalenko one definitely I feel should have been a penalty. And they've obviously not. I don't even think they've reviewed it, to be honest. But if he does go down there, I think that's given. We'll go to a few comments here. Rachel says, I was going to say Adam Lenglet did well today. Yeah, he did. He was his best performance for Villa for sure. And probably man of the match. Probably more man of the match. Mark says, Powell not playing a huge difference from down the left. We do, although that was Lenglet's best game. Saw someone refer Powell Torres. He's our quarterback. If you do watch NFL, and I know most people probably know what quarterback is, but he controls how we play and the direction that we play in, and he sometimes finds those detailed passes, and some of the passes were overhitting at times, in regards to other players, because Powell has that control. I think he makes some of those passes in behind a bit more, especially today as well. So yeah, you can say he's missed. Paul says Everton went down at every opportunity and the ref gave free kicks nearly every time. Yeah, I think David Coote just had a poor game in general, to be honest. Simon says, agree, Rachel. I thought the back played well today. Yeah, as did I. Except for Carlos pushing up that one time for Calvert-Lewin's chance. I think the back four played really well. Rachel, it's disrupted the flow, so Villa or Everton couldn't get any momentum. Yeah, I think it was both ways, agree. But Everton being happier because they're playing against a Villa side who were at the time second in the league. Rich, not sure how Tarkowski stayed on the pitch today. Yeah, some dodgy tackles. Paul, we're missing Torres a lot, and Tielemans looks worth starting. Yeah, let's not forget, Tielemans was starting before he got injured. He was our starter and had 2 great performances against City and Arsenal. So I think when fully fit, Tielemans comes back into the starting lineup. Rachel says defensive line did well today. We couldn't do much more, to be fair. Yeah, Simon said clear pen. Paul says 2 clear pens in 10 seconds. Simon says promotes players to go. That's exactly what it does. That's because if he goes down, it's a penalty. He stayed on his feet and been honest, and no decision's been made. Rachel, PGMOL has now rewarded cheats. Unless you go down, you don't get a pen. Yeah, this was the thinking I had with the Duran situation, just our last game in the Premier League. Duran gets kicked, but if he doesn't go down there, no decision's made. Don't you think? Nothing's been called at all. But Duran's obviously I've been kicked, but I have to do that to get the penalty. And we've seen, as I stated, the Fernandes and the Sterling ones, they've gone down, soft albeit, but they've got penalties for them. And yeah, Mikalenko's tripped DRB and he stayed on his feet and nothing's been given. Watford fan, cheers for joining us. He goes, I support Watford, but I want Tim Irboonen on loan 6 months. Yeah, we can get into that after this regarding Tim and that potential. I imagine there's rumours regarding that. Deontay says, Justin Costa, I don't know if I'm going to attempt to pronounce that, Nedelovic is on his way to Aston Villa for €9 million. He will spend the rest of the season back on loan at Red Star Belgrade. Oh, okay.
This might be some Monchi magic, you know. This is like one of the highest rated footballers in Serbian football. He's played Champions League minutes this season against Young Boys and Manchester City.
18-year-old, isn't he?
18 years old. This could be our new right back next season. I think reports are saying €9 million and he'll go back on loan to Red Star. But
could do even now.
Mad. This is mad. This is.
So in terms of that, do you reckon that's the reason why we've called back Kankes to sell him?
Maybe. Yeah, maybe. But listen, this is one of them transfers. If Brighton do it, everyone's like, "Oh wow, Brighton are so." Like they just signed Barco from Barca, so this is our guy. Yeah. But hopefully it's true.
Paul says, "But rules state any foul in the box is a pen." But they didn't follow the rules, Paul. But yeah, I agree. Right says, I would be very surprised if DRB isn't injured after the challenges, especially that Tarkowski one looked nasty, and yeah, how he wasn't. Yeah, he didn't mash his ankle up with that. He was mad. Deontay coming with the sources. Thanks, Deontay. He goes, Moza Sport and Telesport RS. Okay. I think that I saw that just before coming on. That Telesport RS is like a big Serbian report journalist organisation. And so yeah, we'll see how that unfolds. Right, it says bit unsure on the sources on this one, but you never know. Yeah. Also, yeah, talking about that transfer. So yeah, overall, bro, What were what are your thoughts and feelings on firstly the referee, and then just go on to how you were saying?
Refereeing, I don't know. He gave some fouls that weren't fouls, but I don't think it was the reason that we didn't create chances and score more. But yeah, it was a bit frustrating watching the game. The VAR decision, it is what it is. It was offside. I just don't get why they were admiring the goal still later. Like, he's just teasing us, thinking that it's gonna stand. Like I said, Lenglet's second half, take a bow, man, because his passing was unreal, and it weren't just simple passes as well. It was diagonals. It was little dinks over the top. He looked like Pau in that second half. Like, he's never going to be Pau Torres, but he was good on the ball in that second half. Best I've seen him play, 100%. And he's so unlucky. Moreno is dangerous. He cuts it back, and Cash he shoots and he gets blocked.
Block. It's a fantastic block from Mykolenko. You maybe say he could potentially, I don't know if that's been too much to try and dink it over him or something because he can see it coming in, but I think Cash has got to. Yeah, it's a fantastic block. But yeah, overall, I take the point. We just weren't better in the final third. So yeah, it was just one of those. We move on. We take the point and we go on to the next one against Chelsea in the cup and then Newcastle as well. Any final thoughts, bro?
Yeah, 2-week break now. Is it for Villa for the Chelsea game on the Friday? So I think they jet out to. Are they going to Saudi?
I'm not too sure.
I think they're going to a warm weather. Maybe it's Qatar or Saudi, but they're going for a warm weather break and hopefully recuperate. Hopefully Ramsey's not injured for too long. Pau Torres comes back. And yeah, we just start getting some players back because we need the whole squad fit now, because our performances recently probably just regressed a little bit from that Man City game. It's always going to be a come down from the Man City game, but in terms of like even games before when we were playing well, I feel like the performances have regressed a bit. So I just don't want it to become a long-term trend kind of thing.
I'm still sure that side since Arsenal, Man City hasn't played together since then. We've not had that side. No. Due to whoever's been missing or what throughout that. So yeah, when they're all back and fit, hopefully the majority are for that Chelsea and then the Newcastle game as well. We really need it because we'll go into it with much confidence, especially at home as well. Well, any other thoughts regarding transfers? Potentially,
let's hope this right back gets signed because he's exciting, man. This could be an exciting one. Have you watched him
much in the Champions League?
I watched the City game. He played in that, but outside of that, I've never really watched him too much. But when you talk about profiles, 18, just reading some comments from Serbian fans there, people are saying, nah, this is a mistake. We're selling him that cheap, like all kinds of stuff. And they watch him more than us. So hopefully that sounds promising.
Yeah, hopefully there's something in those rumours and he has some legs.
Apparently the Serbian newspapers, one Serbian football account has said this is the most reliable you can get for Serbian football transfers. So let's see.
Yeah, let's see how that develops. Yeah, that would be really good. Who was your man of the match then?
Kamara brought the play quite a lot, but I don't actually think his passing was that good either. Sometimes I thought he was a bit sloppy, so I'll have to give it to. Oh, I'll give it Lenglet. You know, I'll give it Lenglet.
I think it was Lenglet
or Moreno. Lenglet or Moreno.
Yeah. I think it was Lenglet. I didn't expect Lenglet to play to that level, but I thought Lenglet was good. If there are any more comments, I don't think there are. Thanks everyone for joining tonight. What we'll do is we might be doing a video next week within that break that we have. We'll get into it from there. So it might be a bit of a surprise. Hopefully we've got someone coming on, so that'll be interesting. And then we'll do a match preview for the Chelsea game as well. Thanks everyone for joining. Hopefully Villa rest up and recuperate on their break now and are ready to go again against Chelsea. Thanks for joining me, bro, on this Sunday evening. Up the Villa, everyone. And again, if you could like the stream, if you're new around here, drop us a subscription and also drop a comment in after the stream's finished as well. Let me know your thoughts and always get a response and we can have a discussion through there. Thanks again for joining me, bro. Up the Villa, everyone, and see you in a few weeks.